Okay, all right. Welcome to my madness. Cycling through your life, episode 29. We're here. I usually say, hey, it's not so bad. It's cold, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It is 0 in New York City right now. 0 degrees. But it feels like -10. And to tell you the truth, I can't tell the difference between 0 and -10 actually. Except maybe how the time it takes for your hands to freeze when you take your gloves off. But hey, here we are. I'd like to thank everybody that participated in the last episode and the last few episodes. Thank you very much. Sky. Cycling through your life is moving on. I'm outside. Here we go. Episode 29.
Sometimes living your life is like being in love with someone who you know in your heart will cheat on you without the slightest hesitation. But you hang in there anyway. Learning again and again that inside every hero lives a villain and inside every lover hides a hater.
Okay, there's a couple of things, of course, on my mind as usual. Got this isolation situation that's still going through my head. You know, especially now when it's freezing and I'm retired. There are days and I didn't even go outside, man. I didn't even go outside. Just like for fear of the cold. I'd look at the temperature and I'd be like, nah. I'll figure out something inside, which I did. But I had a long debate with myself this morning. You know how they say it's all right to talk to yourself as long as you don't answer? Well, there was a full-blown argument going on in my bed this morning about whether I should be coming out here or not. But hey, I guess you can see which side won. I'm here because I want to be consistent, and I like it. I ain't gonna be out here too long, but it's cold. It's really cold. It is winter time in the city. The snow is like a rock. You don't want to even walk on that, man. Step on it. It's all yellow and brown, and yellow and brown, and dirty. Gray. It's if you fall down on this, it's like falling in a pile of rocks. Because it's New York. So yeah, I got that part. And coming up next Saturday, the 14th, you know, is Valentine's Day. It's a big day. I'm gonna have to cover my face because yeah, it's a big day. It's a big day for some people. But why do we even celebrate it? Do we know why we celebrate it? And always say Valentine's, like, you know, why do they put these things in our mind? And why do we feel compelled to help out the chocolate industry and the rose industry? And I guess champagne for some people and the jewelry industry. For one night, for one day of getting the same thing you've been getting all year. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. It's no longer, I don't know if it ever was, but it's no longer a day of love. Right? Usually a day of sexual activity, basically. As all holidays have become, as everything in the society has become just about money, sex, drugs. That's it. You give the average person that, and they be pretty much like, thank you, Lord. But that's the idea today. We get into some things. Hold on a minute. Okay, St. Valentine's was a 3rd century Roman martyr, 3rd century Roman martyr, likely a priest or a bishop. And he was executed in 270 AD, that's 3rd century, right? So basically he was killed for marrying Roman soldiers. He was killed for marrying Roman soldiers. And Rome had not fully been, has not really been a part of the Catholic Church. They haven't did their, if we can't beat them, join them strategy. It was not yet the Roman Catholic Church. It was just Christians, I guess. And he was supposedly killed. There was 2 of them, really. 2 different ones that we know of that were St. Valentine's, and they were both martyred, supposedly, on February 14th. But the interesting lore about this first guy that was marrying the soldiers was that when he was in jail waiting to be executed, he started hanging out with the executioner's daughter, which is kind of weird. I mean, she probably had a thing for guys that were about to get their heads chopped off or some shit. But anyway, and he was writing letters to her. And in his last letter, it was signed, "From your Valentine." So there, that's how we get the whole Valentine thing going. But of course, the whole celebration is from a pagan holiday, which most of them are from pagan holidays, just like Saturnalia with Christmas. This one was what's it called? But a pagan holiday that, of course, the Romans just grafted over this St. Valentine's Day. And like in the 70s, 1970, the Catholic Church decided not to celebrate him like that. They still keep him as a martyr, but he's not, because his history is kind of clouded in just lore and hearsay, all of that. But the pagan celebration was the pagan was all about fertility and screwing, having sex, basically. But they would kill a goat and cut it up into strips, and they would hit the young women with the goat meat. And that's where the red comes in, because if you were stained with red, that means you were fertile and you were going to have kids this coming, spring and summer, whatever, winter. So that's how that came in. So that's basically the pagans always at the bottom of everything, it seems like, with the Europeans anyway. But that's where that's coming from. But it has evolved or devolved into what we celebrate now, Oh, and Chaucer, the writer, British writer, and Shakespeare referenced Valentine in the romantic sense, and I think that mostly what propelled it to be this kind of romantic holiday for a minute. But, it is what it is these days. People do what they're told. They go out and they buy chocolates. They take their woman out to an expensive dinner. This can't be, can't be McDonald's. It's got to be something expensive, right? Then they go home and do what they do normally on a Saturday night, if they're still doing that. But that's just the way we do. But we have to support these industries. They come around every 8 weeks, I guess. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and then we have to celebrate something else by paying for it. So that's what we're doing. That's how we get down. Okay, I'm not gonna say never, because I did try to please some people back in the day, but it was never an enjoyable experience for me. At least the first part of it, the buying part, the acting like it's a special day part. I never really got into that part. But people do. You know, people do what they do. This is how they celebrate their love. This is how they celebrate themselves. So hey, you know, do what you do, but at least know what it is that you're doing. You know, and at least why. So that's my thing. I ain't gonna be out here all day. 29. This is we keeping it going. Feels like -10. My gloves on. Get my ass back inside. So yeah. What was I thinking about, right? It's not what you think, but it's what you're thinking about, right? It's not what you think. It's what you're thinking about.
They put an S on freedom. They put an S on freedom. Freedom never used to have an S. Freedom was singular and stood by itself for itself. You are either free or not free. No in between. It was gonna be or not be. They put an S on freedom. They put an